then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. The world is actually a small piece of the universe, right? The world is actually a small piece of the universe, right? Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did, and back in those days, to show how things have changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, hey, Esther, you, off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off. Well, he came off, and he said, I'll meet you outside. My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate. And he said, I'll be waiting for you. He was waiting for 3 guys in straight racers. Not a joke. There was a guy named Bill Wright, Mouse, the only white guy, and he did all the pulls. He was the mechanic. And I said, what am I going to do? He said, come down here in the basement where mechanics, where all the pull filter is. You know the chain, there used to be a chain that went across the deep end. And he cut off a 6-foot length of chain. He folded up, he said, you walk out with that chain. And you walk to the car and say, you may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head. I said, you're kidding me. He said, no, if you don't come back. And he was right. So I walked out with the chain. And I walked up to my car. And those days, you used to remember the straight race. You'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel, get them rusty. And I looked at him, but I was smart then. I said, first of all, I said, When I tell you get off the board, you get off the board, and I'll kick you out again, but I shouldn't have called you, Esther Williams. I apologize for that. I apologize, but I didn't know that apology was going to work. He said, you apologize to me? I said, I apologize for that, not for throwing you out, but I apologize for what I said. He said, okay, clothes are straight, raised, and my heart began to beat again.
$7 million for reef fish management. $25 million to combat Asian carp. $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
But it's a class action lawsuit against all machines.
Hello, users! And welcome to another episodic installation of the show. This is the Gosh Darn, aka the Above It All program. And I'm on my second cup of coffee, fresh. And Max the dog is concerned as I am talking to the television again. And so, talking to the television, right, Max? Thank you. Oh boy. Oh. He's okay. Got a Max dog here. Oh, here he is. Check this out. Oh, look at this dog. Can you see this? This creature. This is the creature that is stalking my stream. He's circling me. I'm getting fucking circled here. Oh my goodness. We got Andrew Kohler in the chat, Sinkwall, Mr. Freak, we got Alex Stepien, we got Myler, we got Tyler Hackner, we got Brooke Holloway, and more. So, thank you for showing up to the Above It All experience, the Above It All experimental, all right, Max is doing his own thing now. Above It All experimental experience on today's program. Once again, reminder to subscribe to my new YouTube channel for Doom speedrunning. I am currently 9% the way to getting monetized. If you want to help me get monetized, I'm currently 9% of the way there. I'd like to be 100% theoretically. But as of this moment, I am 9% of the way there. So if you want to subscribe to that, that'd be great. And that'd be cool. So anyway, going to be jumping in. I know I said I would do a Twitch stream yesterday. I was going to. I was setting it up. And then I realized, like, I don't want to do it. So then I closed the programs and did something else. So I apologize for lying. I lied. I'm going to be honest. I lied. I'm a liar. And I apologize for lying. So, but either way, whatever. So I'm probably going to stream tonight. The problem was I just got way too high. Like, I was just like way too high and I didn't feel like talking, Sometimes I get high and I'm like, I'm stuck in my own head, I don't want to be talking to people, and then there's like, there's people watching me, ooh, someone's watching me. Oh god, oh no. What if like, what if I have like a fucking like a stain on my face or something and I'm embarrassed, anyway. So yes. Anyway, this is the Above It All show 1722. We got Max the dog, who's still roaming around. He's roaming. I mean, I don't know what else to say. But he is roaming, and it is around. Oh my fucking god, look at this dog. If only you could see this animal. I mean, wow. We need to get like I need to get like a little GoPro, hook it up to Max's like head, and then just like there's a Max the dog cam, right? And it's just like his pav, right? And then when he's like circling around me, it's just gonna like show my legs, and then he's gonna look up at me. And then it's just, throw that in the corner of the stream. But tonight I'm going to be streaming a brand new game. To me, it came out last year, in the year 2021. It came out, and I will be playing it for the first time tonight. And I'm not going to get that high, so I promise. Normally my method for getting high on stream is I'll take an edible right before the stream starts, so that when it kicks in, I'm already in streamer mode. But what happened yesterday is, it didn't turn out like that. I'll just put it that way. And I got way too high. So anyway, it happens. But anyway, I'm 9% of the way there on that other channel, so help me out. And also give me money. A couple people have been giving me some Cash App contributions over the last couple of days and week. So thank you. A little bit of a late thank you for that. I appreciate it. As much as I love Halloween, it also signifies that bills are coming up for me. So, so there you go. But also I will say this, I made a decision. I have decided to make a decision. And this decision is that on October 31st, on Halloween night, I will do a twitch.tv stream, and I will play Silent Hill 2. On October 31st, Halloween night, I will be playing Silent Hill 2. So, that's going to be, just throwing that one out there. So, if anyone wants to bookmark that in their calendars. I don't know what time I'll start it yet, but I will play Silent Hill 2 on Halloween night. And I will play the whole game, I think, probably in one sitting. I don't see why I wouldn't. But anyway. And so that's all of that out of the way. Let's jump into this story here, because I covered this yesterday. Where the Progressive Caucus, like, there was like a letter that came out or fucking some shit, who knows. Anyway, so here's an update to that. People are furious. That's a quote. Jayapal withdraws letter on Ukraine policy amid Democratic anger. So I covered this yesterday. If you want to know my position on this so-called letter, the letter is nothing. It means nothing. Like, let's just be, like, again, all of this, like, hoopla, it's manufactured outrage, there literally, none of this means anything. I'm going to be honest. I read the letter. It just says we want Biden to pursue diplomacy wherever possible, but we know it's probably not possible. It's just virtue signaling. Like, it's just, yes, we want diplomacy, but we recognize that Russia's leader is a fucking crazy person. Wow. Well, like, hot take. You know what I mean? That's not a hot take. It's nothing. It means nothing. But, again, it's being lied about in the media. It's being misrepresented by mainstream media, by a lot of, like, these small, like, independent quote-unquote news channels, or, like, they're trying to hop on this and trend, like, oh, look, they're anti-war, but they're pro-war, and it's all this stupid fucking cringy shit. I mean, it's embarrassing that we live in this kind of weird information economy where, like, lying about people, or just like jumping on trends that are just like that are not even, like, it's just weird, right? Like, this is how people make money, is they just misrepresent someone's position, they lie about it, and then they make videos about it. Like, that's just, it's the economy that we live in. And it's sad, and it's dumb. And now, again, you can criticize their position if you want. But, I mean, like, again, read the letter, it means nothing. A House progressive leader abruptly withdrew a letter pushing the Biden administration to pursue diplomacy in Russia's war with Ukraine. Now, again, that's not really an accurate portrayal of what the letter is. Because the letter says we want to pursue diplomacy wherever possible, and we want Biden to pursue diplomacy wherever possible, and we recognize he's been doing that, and we also recognize that Vladimir Putin is crazy and is a belligerent and is the one in the way. The letter means nothing. Like, I'm telling you, the letter is nothing. It doesn't mean anything, and this is a misrepresentation, right? Because it's showed in the media about they're trying to push Biden to shift the strategy, but they're not. They're not. They're just saying, like, yeah, we want diplomacy, which is what you're doing. Great job. Like, that's literally, you can read it. Like that's the thing. Like, we live in this weird ass fucking world where it's like people are afraid to read. Like, it's like a fucking couple paragraph letter, right? But no one, like, people would rather read a headline about it and then talk on their shows for like an hour on cable or whatever it is, YouTube, whatever shows these people are doing. They're going to talk for hours without actually fucking reading the goddamn fucking source material. It's crazy shit. It's like we're doing like a 3-hour long movie review and you've only seen like the first like 38 seconds of the film, like, and it's the opening credits, like, you know, it's just like scrolling credits and like the camera's looking at clouds and shit, and you're like, wow, you know, this fucking movie really sucks, you know, and then you turn it off and then do like a 3-hour show about it. Anyway, an about face following furious internal backlash from Democrats who felt blindsided by the move just 2 weeks before the November midterms. And again, an about face. Like, what does that mean? It means, like, changing your mind. But the mind hasn't been changed. Jayapal hasn't changed a position. Like, from the initial invasion all the way up until now, Jayapal has had the same position. So has everyone that has signed on to this letter. They've had the same position from February 24th up until now. The letter is just virtue signaling. It doesn't mean anything. And again, you can read it yourself. The move by Representative Pramila Jayapal, the head of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, came after she released a letter initially signed in June. So Mark Pocan came out yesterday and said that it was signed in July, but now Jayapal is saying it was even earlier. So maybe it's Mark Pocan signed it in July, but it was initially, it was initially put out there in June. So from 30 liberals, and again, by liberals, they don't mean Nancy Pelosi, Steny Hoyer. They mean leftists. They mean, progressives. That's what they mean when they say liberals. But again, we live in this weird world where, like, words don't have any definitions anymore. Calling for more diplomacy, a move that appeared to undercut their party's resolute support for Ukraine. Releasing the letter this week was not endorsed by most of the members, and some said they would not sign it now, given how the war has turned in recent days. After Democratic fury began to emerge publicly, Jayapal contended the letter was released by staff without proper vetting and said it was improperly conflated her caucus's position with GOP divisions over providing more aid to Ukraine. Nowhere in the letter does it say that that we shouldn't vote for more funding. Nowhere in the letter. The letter is just like, again, I don't even know why they signed. I don't even know why they even did the thing in the first place. Like, I'm going to be honest. I have no idea why this thing even started up in the first place. But it seems to me like just a rogue staffer just, like, wanted to fuck around and boom, October surprise. That's what it seems to me. But again, we live in this weird-ass world where, like, Democrats are mad at her. Like, liberals, actual liberals, not leftists, not progressives, but liberals are mad. Liberals and conservatives in the Democratic Party are mad at the Progressive Caucus. Why? They have the same position. Pursue diplomacy wherever possible and support Ukraine's right to self-determination. That's the position in the letter. That's what's said in the letter. Right? Like, it's just, I don't even know, man. This whole thing. This shit is like these kinds of stories, and they pop up all the time where it's like it's a Rorschach test. You know, like, there is no story. There is no news. There is no new information. It's just whatever you feel about these characters. And I'm going to be honest, I don't like Jayapal. I think Jayapal is a horrible leader. I think her political instincts are terrible. I think her strategy on politics is terrible. I don't like her. But, like, I'm not going to, like, project my dislike of her onto this story when that's not even, like, I don't... Like, my dislike of Jayapal's politics and strategy has nothing to do with the fact that this letter is a nothing burger. So I don't know what to say about it other than that. But I want to read more of this because it really is entertaining. After Democratic fury began to amaze, I already read that. The quote, the Congressional Progressive Caucus hereby withdraws its recent letter to the White House regarding Ukraine. Jayapal, a Democrat from Washington State, said in a statement, the letter was drafted several months ago, but unfortunately was released by staff without vetting. As chair of the caucus, I accept responsibility for this. Now, again, I say the letter shouldn't have been signed or made in the first place because it doesn't mean anything. But I also understand, like, at the time, they wanted to virtue signal in some way. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, what? Right? Crazy shit. The public reversal. Now, again, it's not really a reversal because they signed and distributed the letter in June and July and then forgot about it. And then staff posted it like 4 months later and their position is unchanged. There's no reversal. Like, that's the thing. Like, there is no reversal. Like, the reversal would be if, like, Jayapal in the letter said, like, we need to stop all funding for the Ukrainian Nazis, and then, like, Biden is starting World War III. And then she was like, oh, never mind, JK law. That would be a reversal. But there is no reversal. There is no shift. There is, like, none. Whoo! People are furious, especially frontliners, said one senior House Democrat ahead of the letter being withdrawn, referring to most vulnerable members at risk of losing their seats in November 8th midterms. Now, again, why would they be mad at the Progressive Caucus instead of the staffer who leaked it, or, I don't know, Republicans who are the ones that are really actually against funding Ukraine aid, right? Again, this is just another made-up, fictional fucking reason for liberals to attack progressives. That's just how it is. That's just what we're dealing with. And it's hilarious, honestly, that this is the way our society functions. Democrats argue that the ill-timed letter undercut the party's position, showing resolute support for Ukraine. But how? But how? Like, again, how? Why? How? Right? If you look at the letter and come out of reading that thinking, oh, Jayapal is against funding Ukraine, you're an idiot. The only way you would think that is if you clicked on an article, like CNN's article yesterday that I reviewed, saying that Jayapal is asking Biden to shift Ukraine strategy. That is not in the letter. At no point, June, July, August, September, this month, did Jayapal ask Biden to shift any Ukrainian strategy. That never existed. It's not in the letter. So the only reason why you'd be upset at them is if you fell for right-wing disinformation on CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, any other of these outlets. They just posted disinformation. They just lied about what the fucking letter is. And now liberals are attacking progressives because, oh, it's in the media. We got to. It's just like, again, it blows my mind. It really does. Like, this is like some real, like, and I hate to say this. Not really.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
It's just, timing and diplomacy is everything, said California Representative Sarah Jacobs, a member of the Congressional Progressive Caucus that Jayapal leads. I signed this letter on June 30th, but a lot has changed since then. I wouldn't sign it today. Wisconsin Representative Mark Pocan, former leader of the Progressive Caucus who signed the letter in July, told CNN he found it puzzling it was sent out this week after he signed it. It's an October surprise. It's not a puzzle. This isn't fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! And you're trying to solve the fucking goddamn necklace puzzle, right? It's an October surprise. Someone in the staff wanted to fucking dunk on the progressives, and they posted the letter. This isn't, what the fuck, man? Like, are these how is Mark Pocan this fucking stupid? How is Jayapal this fucking stupid? Why don't they fucking defend themselves? Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, Jesus fucking goddamn Christ. Like, this is embarrassing. Now, again, we talk about Jayapal's leadership being horrible. Now, I will say this. I don't like her leadership. Her politics are okay, but, without strategy, your politics really mean nothing. Again, this is another L for Jayapal. It's an L that her staff posted this letter. That's an L. You should have had that on lock. It's an L that you even made the letter to begin with, because in June, July, whenever, it doesn't really matter. It's a stupid fucking virtue signaling piece of garbage. It doesn't actually mean anything. That's an L, right? And then the way she handled this crisis, giant fucking L. Instead of just saying, hey, the letter is being misrepresented and they're lying about it and this is an October surprise and they're just trying to do a gotcha, everything's fine, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. But also, At the same time, is it possible for her to even get a W when you have the media that responds like this? Is it possible to even win with this fucking kind of outrage in the mainstream media that just like farms outrage clicks? Gotta click on this so that we can watch an ad, so that we can see what, again, this fucking world just blows my mind. Puzzling. Fucking puzzling. It's not being, what's the puzzle? Like, this is like a 3-piece puzzle, right? Like a jigsaw puzzle. Imagine you have 3 pieces and it's like a straight line. Right, like there are all corner pieces. Like, this is not a fucking puzzle, right? Like, what the fuck? Okay. The letter signed by Jacobs and 29 other Democrats praised President Joe Biden's efforts supporting Ukraine while avoiding direct U.S. involvement on the ground. But they suggested a more forceful attempt to bring the war to an end through diplomacy is necessary to prevent a long and slogging conflict. They suggested to do more diplomacy, but then also acknowledge, like, are they going to say this? Let's find out. Quote, given the destruction created by this war for Ukraine and the world, as well as the risk of catastrophic escalation, we also believe it is in the interest of Ukraine, the United States, and the world to avoid a prolonged conflict. No shit. Again, virtue signaling. It's virtue signaling. No fucking shit. No, 100% of everyone involved, other than Vladimir Putin, wants to end the war. Like, I don't know why. Like, again, it's a virtue signaling. It doesn't mean anything. You shouldn't have written it in the first place. The group, led by Jayapal, read in the letter, for this reason, we urge you to pair the military and economic support with the United States has provided to Ukraine with a proactive diplomatic push, redoubling efforts to seek a realistic framework for a ceasefire. Which, again, they're already fucking doing. They're already doing this. Like, again, this lie that, like, Joe Biden is like a nefarious puppet master who's trying to get, like, Ukraine to fight Russia for 20 years, as like an extended proxy war to, like, destroy Russia. Now, again, some people in the U.S. government absolutely believe that. Some people in the U.S. government absolutely strive for that. That's no question. But there's really no indication that the U.S., official policy is, we want this war to last as long as possible. There's no indication of that whatsoever. And also, again, the belligerent is Vladimir Putin. The U.S. is not involved in this war other than funding defensive weaponry for Ukraine to defend itself. The U.S. is not, I'm sorry, they don't have a seat at the table. No one has a seat at the table other than Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin invited Zelensky to sit at the table and then had a hit squad try to assassinate him and he couldn't even get there, right? So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, this is not, Jesus. For this reason, again, but are they going to mention that also in the letter that they acknowledge that Vladimir Putin is the belligerent and it is unlikely to do anything anyway? Like, are they going to mention that in this article, or are they just going to leave that part of the letter out? After Democratic backlash intensified over the letter, Jayapal clarified their position, saying they maintain unequivocal commitment to supporting Ukraine and were supportive of the Biden administration strategy. Again, the letter is virtue signaling, and it's being lied about in the media. Like, blowing my mind. At least one Democrat was ready to defend the effort Tuesday to engage in diplomacy with Russia. Representative Rokan of California, who signed the letter, told CNN's Biana Golodryga, I've never heard of her, he did not support Jayapal's decision to rescind the letter. I think the letter was common sense. Kana said, I support making sure we arm Ukraine and provide arms to Ukraine and continue to fund it, but I also believe that the president, as he said, we are at risk of nuclear war. Don't you think our counterparts should be talking to Russia? Of course they should be. And, of course, they should, to be sure that it doesn't escalate. I mean, again, there's no indication that the U.S. is not talking to Russia, right? Like, Russia is not fucking picking up the phone. I don't know. But also, again, Rokan is right on this. Jayapal shouldn't have rescinded the letter. Why would you rescind it? It doesn't... the L's that Jayapal is stacking on top of it, it's ridiculous. Like, horrible strategy. Let's stand with Ukraine, but let's also support diplomacy. Again, and everyone agrees with that. Liberals agree with that. Progressives agree with that. Conservatives in the Democratic Party, for the most part, agree with that. This is not controversial. There is no controversy. Right, but Democrats are professional losers. Like, we need to understand this. Right, like 2 weeks before an election, Democrats would rather yell at each other than talk about Republicans who actually want to defund the war, or rather the defensive weaponry packages to Ukraine. And they do actually want Russia to take over Ukraine, right? That's an actual threat. But instead, they'd rather yell at each other, even though they all agree. They all agree, but they're yelling at each other over optics. But, like, can't you do that privately? Why do you have to go on the fucking TV to yell at each other over optics? Like, I mean, seriously. Fuck. Right? Fuck. This is some stupid-ass shit. So you can read the rest of this. I don't know. I think I've said everything I need to say on this regard. But, I mean, man, this is, again, this just proves that Americans are fucking stupid. One, Americans are fucking stupid. This way, this information clickbait outrage economy, it's not working. It's not working. Right? When it's more profitable to lie about someone's beliefs, then people are going to lie about their beliefs, right? And that, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. This shit's crazy. The letter L, signing the letter L, distributing the letter initially L, right? The letter itself written and how it's written, L, doesn't mean anything, right? Not keeping it in-house, L, rescinding it, L. It's just L's all on board. But again, every side of this, giant fucking L's. The liberals that are going after them for no reason, L, right? Like, Ro Khanna is probably the most logical or most rational out of this one. He's saying, yeah, why rescind the letter? They're lying about it. Like, of course we support Ukraine. Like, that's just the way to go about it. So, I mean, the rare Ro Khanna W in this one. But I mean, like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, it's just embarrassing. To be an American is embarrassing. It's infinitely embarrassing. Like, you know, like, if you invite someone over your house and, like, your mom's a fucking freak, you know, and you just feel embarrassed. You know, has anyone ever been in this situation where they've got, like, a fucked up, like, family scenario and they don't want to invite anyone over their houses, you know, but sometimes it happens and then they're just like, you know, like, don't worry about them, you know, they're a freak, you know. That's what I feel like, but on every time I leave the house, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to just be in this country, to be around these people that are just so fucking stupid, to watch, like, these dumbass motherfuckers on YouTube, these dumbass motherfuckers on cable, these dumbass motherfuckers on Facebook, Twitter, all others. Everyone's a dumb fuck motherfucker. They're so fucking stupid. But again, nuanced perspectives on these kinds of things, they don't get the clicks. No one's going to click on this. Why? Because I'm not outraged. I am, I guess, a little bit outraged. But, like, no one's going to click on this video. This video is not going to get served up in the algorithm to millions of people that are watching all these fucking stupid-ass fucking news segments, right? Like, no one cares about nuance. Nuance is dead, motherfucker. Like, to just have an honest reading of reality is not profitable, and therefore, it's nowhere represented in media that anyone can find. Like, how does someone find my show? How? Like, I don't know. They're not watching cable and then they're finding my show. They're not watching, like, cable news clips and then they're finding my show. How do people find my show? They, like, watch and subscribe to, like, 12 other progressive YouTubers, and as a result, sometimes, maybe, one of my videos will be showing up in their algorithm, like, in 10th place. That's the only way people fucking find my show. Why? Why? Because I'm not fucking doing, like, clickbait fucking, like, the Democratic Party's pro-war. Like, I'm not doing this fucking stupid garbage. Why? Because it's fucking stupid. But everywhere you see, the most popular shit is fucking stupid. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. So, in conclusion, everyone is dumb except me. Thank you. So anyway, that's the first segment of the show. And there you go. It's the first segment, but there's more. There's more to come, and there you go. So, and halfway through my second cup of coffee, and now I'm about 60%. I found your show through WikiFeed. There you go. I'm going to go a step further, Mixed Media. We live in a nation not just of morons, but, like, again, the dumbest motherfuckers who have ever lived. Like, and I'm serious about this, right? Hear me out. This is my argument, and I've said this before. We live in this country at this moment with the dumbest fuckface idiots ever throughout all of history. Now, how is that possible, right? Think about the delta between the available knowledge. Look at the internet, for example. I mean, books are a big information leap, right, in civilization. But look at the internet, right? Like, I got a cell phone here, right? You can open up another tab on your computer and look up anything you want, right? So think about the delta between available information and how accessible the information is versus what the average American knows, thinks, behaves, acts like, right? Think about it. Can you really blame someone like 2,000 years ago for believing in God? I mean, it's 2,000 fucking years ago. What are you going to do? I guess, why not? Fuck it. God. Okay, whatever. Sure. Right? Can you really blame them? Can you really blame someone 200 fucking years ago for not washing their hands every day? They don't even really know what the fuck that means, right? Can you really blame someone 100 years ago? You know, like, for all that, like, not really. Can you really blame someone 200 or 150 years ago for burning fossil fuels? Like, they don't know this stuff. But think about it, right? Now, we know all this shit. The delta between the available information and how easily accessible it is between what the average American understands is the widest. That information gap is the widest it's ever been all throughout human history, right? That's just my argument. And it's only going to get worse. And I see no sign. Every day I wake up, we are living in the dumbest age of all time. Every day I wake up. Every day you wake up. Every time you go like, right in the morning, this day, the day that you are living in, is the day where humanity is at its apex of fucking stupid fucking garbage. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. So, I don't know, man. And I see no sign of improvement in any fashion. I see it as accelerating in the downtrend. That's like, I see this as like a fucking cryptocurrency pump and dump rug pull. Like, it goes all the way from the top straight down, and every day it drops 99%. That's what we are when it comes to American intelligence, and it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse. Every fucking day it gets worse and worse and worse. Every election cycle it gets worse and worse and worse. Every fucking time it's worse. It's garbage. It's garbage. It's garbage. This country is garbage. Americans are garbage. The voters are fucking garbage. Every part of this country, garbage. Stupid motherfuckers that talk to stupid motherfuckers that go to work with stupid motherfuckers that vote for stupid motherfuckers that do stupid fucking shit because they're stupid motherfuckers. That's this country. I don't know, and I don't like this. That's not my ideal scenario. I wish I was one of the stupid motherfuckers. God, could you imagine? I wake up every day and I pray to fucking God. I wish I was fucking stupid. I'm waiting for God to talk to me. Then I can walk around like a fucking drone like the rest of these motherfuckers. But instead, I'm fucking stuck just seeing them for what they are. Like, again, like, I wake up, I get on my knees. God, please be real. For the love of God, please be real so that I can turn my brain off. But they're not. It's not real. God's not real. And Americans are just fucking stupid. And I'm stuck here. I'm crash landed on a fucking alien planet. And we're fucked. And not in the good dick way. So, there you go. God damn it, I wish I was a fucking idiot. Fuck! Oh! God damn! Could you imagine just being a fucking asshole wandering around? Well, COVID's over. Inflation's a big deal. Gotta vote for Republicans now. You know, gonna go eat some Hot Pockets and go get some Wendy's. Gonna pray to God. God is good. I love Jesus. Can I please trade places with one of these motherfuckers? Fuck. Can I please just be one of them? Or does anyone want to do a body swap? Fuck! Daniel Johnson, morning assholes. I got a puppy, it's not fun. Fuck you, Daniel. That puppy is going to be your best friend for the rest of your life. Speaking of puppies, there's a pup right here. I don't know if you can see this. It's a pup. You can barely see him because he's a dark dog, you know? He blends in with the shadows. So anyway, feel free to clip that and send it to your friends. You know, a lot of people, you know, they say, Why isn't your show more popular? Why? Because of you. And you don't share this with your fucking friends. I got 38 viewers right now, according to YouTube, 40. If everyone in the chat just shared this with their friends, I'd have 80. Like, hello? It's fucking basic math. Like, I mean, like, fucking hell. You know what I mean? Like, it's basic fucking math here. Like, come on now. We got some dumbass motherfuckers in this chat. Anyway. I know no one in my chat has friends. I'm aware of that. So that's, there you go. All right. That's me smashing my own foot because it feels good, I guess. Just show more feet. I have socks on. I'm wearing a sock. You know, it's a sock. So, and I'm not taking it off. I refuse. 25% of millennials don't have a single friend. We're fucked. Stop running off the people I bring in the Lindsay, tell me, like, what do they say? Oh, this bitch is so loud. Oh, she said fuck. Why is this bitch talking about cum for 12 minutes? Like, like, what are they telling you about why they click off? I shared the show with a lot of people. My daughter has to work during the day, but maybe she watches when she can. Who knows? That's great. NGL, if they can't handle you, I don't want to be their friends. Whoa. I called her an idiot for eating meat. Did I call her an idiot for eating meat, or did I say meat eaters were idiots? Because those are two different things. I mean, like, they essentially mean the same thing, but it's like, it's more rare that I would call out a single user and call them an idiot than I would say the general. Now, again, I do that all the time, just to be clear, so I don't know which one is which. So it could have been either one. But there you go. So I do both very frequently, but I would say by the numbers, I call generalized populations dumb more than I call single users dumb. Everybody comes in your grandmother. Oh, Lord. I like your anger because I feel the same way. Well, I appreciate that. But apparently, you know, not many people feel this way. Or maybe they do. You know, like these motherfuckers, like, you know, these goddamn assholes, you know. And, you know, that like, that understand things but then don't do anything about it. Like, I get it. Every day of my life, it's a struggle. Every day of my life, it is a struggle to, like, to even bother. You know, like, every once in a while, I'm thinking, what if I just disappeared for 2 weeks, a month, a year? What if I just disappeared? Unplugged from the news, didn't read it at all, right? Like, just like, didn't go outside, just stay at home, do drugs, play video games all day, and live my life in happiness. I think about it. Every day I think about it. Oh, man, wouldn't it be great? Fuck. If I just totally just, you know, but I can't. I'm addicted. That's true. That's what it is. I'm addicted to the dopamine rush that I receive by yelling at dumb motherfuckers. I don't know what else to say. I said meat eaters are idiots. You nailed it, and I tried to pull her back. I mean, meat eaters are idiots. I don't know what to tell you. It's like, you're uncivilized, you know? And if you can't handle being called uncivilized, like, that's your own, like, that's cognitive dissonance like a motherfucker, right? Like, again, there's plenty of meat eaters in my chat. They understand they're fucking morons. They understand that I think they're fucking morons. That's fine. They still watch. They get over it, you know? Like, you're allowed to have cognitive dissonance. Now, I think you shouldn't. I think you should probably always strive to do your best in your personal life that aligns with your politics. But you know what? Some people, they're in different positions, whatever. I don't care. It's not that big of a deal. But someone who's, like, offended by that, oh my God! Oh, right? Like, I mean, like, they haven't fully worked through their own opinions yet. They don't, like, a lot of people, like, they have a lot of people, I'm just ranting generally, by the way, now. Most people, I'm willing to say 99% of people, probably 99.9% of people in this country, politics is a branding exercise, right? Like, that's, like, again, anyone you know, like your parents, anyone in your family, 99.999% of the time, politics is branding. It's like wearing like clothing. It's like, what kind of clothing do you want to wear? Like, do you want to wear like jeans, or do you want to wear leggings? Do you want to wear like shorts? Like, what kind of, that's what politics is, right? For 99.9% of people. That's what it is. They don't look at the world through that political lens, because there is no political lens. They just think, I'm a liberal. Yeah, I support trans rights and everything, and that's cool, right? And that's great. Like, you know, I want people to have better political brands than the worst ones, right? But again, it's very rare that you see someone attach their political philosophy to how they live their daily life. Like, that's just like, that's a rare thing to see. So when people, you know, again, if someone is you know, oh, I support action to you know, change or combat climate change, but I'm not going to do anything about it on a personal level, you know. And again, I understand the argument that, like, you know, no individual can fix things, but that's why when I talk about meat eating, I talk about it from a health perspective, right? Like, you're literally just killing your body for no reason. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you want to kill yourself, like, if that's your drug of choice, we all have a drug of choice, right? I got multiple. Right? I love drugs, and food is one of them, but I try my best to be an ex-food addict, right? Because I view things like coffee and marijuana as more healthy than food, and those are where I try to tailor my addictions to. And so, like, you know, again, some people, they're addicted to food. And again, by the numbers, 93% of Americans, metabolic syndrome, right? How do you get metabolic syndrome? Essentially, you're addicted to food and you eat unhealthy food specifically. 95% of Americans, you know, don't eat fiber. They don't eat fruits or vegetables. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, my opinion, being healthy is a core component of my politics, right? When society and capitalism is designed in order to make me less healthy so that my quality of life is lower and that I die sooner, it is a radical act of rebellion to control your own diet and I know not that many people, you know, are willing or able to. I'm convinced. Now, again, I know some people get mad at me when I say this. I'm convinced that 99% of the resistance to healthy diet and all that is not time, but effort. And I understand time and effort are inextricably linked, right? If you're working 2 jobs, right, it's hard for you to get into that position where you want to, like, educate yourself, but you have to be a conscious member of society. And if you're a parent, and again, a lot of people, they give parents slack. I don't. I say, fuck you. If you're a parent and you don't take time out of your day to make your kids' lives better, I'm sorry, I struggle to respect you. I do. Because I'm the result of parents that didn't fucking give a shit. I'm the result of parents that didn't give a fuck. I've got health problems as a result. I've got addiction issues as a result. I'm fucked up. Now, I try to make the best of it, right? But I mean, again, if you have kids, my opinion, as soon as you have a kid, your life doesn't matter anymore. That's my opinion. The only reason why your life even still exists is to make your kid's life as good as possible. That's my opinion. That's the contract you sign with society, with your child, if you have a child. And if you don't want the child, give them up for adoption, whatever, let someone else raise them. I'm okay with that. But if you have a child, you should spend 100% of your free time to make that child as good as possible. And again, that's the thing, is you can study a lot and then you can coast off of that. You have a child, you spend 5 years studying how to raise that child, then you can coast. Then you enjoy that fucking shit. And again, I don't know. I'm just ranting now, but... Fuck. Yeah. I don't know. My point here, I don't know where I started with this one, but my point is most people do not attach their politics to how they live their lives. Politics are just like the clothing that they wear. It's how they want to be perceived by other people. That's 99% of people when their relationship to politics. It's how they want to be perceived by other people. Do they want people to perceive them as being cool? Do they want people to perceive them as being inclusive, tolerant, intolerant, bigoted, not bigoted? That's politics for most people, right? When they go about their daily lives and they're by themselves and they're completely by themselves and they make private choices, politics is not a concern for 99% of people, 99.9% of people. So anyway. You know, fucking carnies are the most sensitive motherfucking snowflakes in the goddamn fucking world, man. Like, I'm telling you this. Like, as a vegetarian, right? Like, and again, in this chat, it happens all the time. You have the stupid fucking low IQ dunderheads like fucking About to Sleep, Rialon, and Donald James. They love blogging about how they're eating meat, and it's just weird and it's dumb. And they, you know, like, and, you know, I get people commenting on my videos, calling me malnourished and fucking stupid and liberal and tranny and all that fucking shit. You know, oh, malnourished fucking idiot, you don't know how to feed your... And it's like, the exact opposite is true, right? So again, like, the idea that carnies are getting offended by someone like me saying you're an idiot for eating meat, like, cry me a fucking river. Cry me a fucking river. Like, making, like, anti-meat content online, I get fucking attacked from everyone. Leftists attack me. Liberals attack me. Conservatives attack me. Everyone. Progressives attack me. Anarchists attack me. Communists attack me. Fucking whatever stupid epic brand of whatever left-wing thing you want to pretend is a real thing. They all attack me because I want people to eat healthier. Like, I don't know. So if I can handle it, so can they. That's all I'm fucking saying. Fucking stupid-ass snowflake little bitch. Yeah, why the fuck are people so goddamn serious all the time? Like, why the fuck is so, oh, I want to watch a stream and someone said that a group of people that I happen to be a part of is dumb. I'm offended. Like, why do these people have sticks up their goddamn ass? And not in the good way either. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Get over yourself. Get over yourself, man. Jordan B. Peterson coincidentally did an all red meat diet and then ended up in a coma for a couple years. Totally no causation there, right? Yeah, I've never smoked cigarettes. I don't get it. Like, I understand the idea that smoking is cool, right? But like, and I totally agree. Smoking is cool. Like, a motherfucker's like smoking something, and if they have sunglasses on, damn, like, I'm horny as hell, right? Like, smoking is cool. Like, that's fact, right? But again, cigarettes, tobacco, like, L. Why would you be smoking that shit when marijuana exists? I don't get it. Why would you, like, and again, smoking fucks your body up. I don't smoke marijuana either. I ingest in other forms. But if you're going to smoke and you're not smoking weed, you're just an idiot. But that being said, smoking is cool. That's a fact. Anyone who disagrees with me, pretty dumb. I don't know. Smoking is cool as hell. But don't smoke cigarettes. Can you cut that into, like, an anti-smoking ad? That's, like, the best anti-smoking ad ever. Cigars are dumb too because it's tobacco. Tobacco's just dumb. I don't get it. Now again, I say this having never used tobacco, so I don't get it. But the goddamn carnies. Anyway, let's get into another fucking... We want to talk about stupid-ass Americans. Damn. Yo, this is going to be another 30-minute fucking segment because this video has been making the works. Okay. Yo. I talk about on my show, this is the Above It All show. You're watching a clip from the Above It All show. Woohoo! About stupid motherfuckers. All the time. I won't shut the fuck up about these dumbass motherfucking Americans. The dumbest motherfuckers you've ever seen in your life. Well, I present to you Exhibit 75395A. The dumbest motherfuckers you've ever seen. So this is an MSNBC, like, I don't know, it's like a focus group or whatever that they filmed. And these are Pennsylvanian right-wing voters. These are Republicans. These are voters. They vote. Yo, again, if you've seen this clip already, you know what's going on. You know what I'm going to say. You know, you don't even need to watch this. Close the video. You know what I'm going to say. If you haven't seen this clip yet, holy fuck, you are in for a treat. You are in for a treat. This is excellent. This is like I don't even know what to say. This is like, you know, like refined sugar, right? You know, the process of refining fucking table sugar, right? This is like pure, Like it is pure addictive, like cringe, you know, like this is like getting like the good pure heroin and injecting it into your veins, but instead of heroin it's cringe. Like this is the fucking excellent stuff. This is top fucking shelf. This is the shit that they have in the back room, and you need to ask a guy and say a fucking buzzword or like a password to get them to go into that back room to get it for you. This is some really good shit, and I'm giving it to you for free, so check this out.
Mastriano was at the insurrection, and
So Doug Mastriano running for Republican governor. He's the gubernatorial candidate for the Republicans, and he was at the insurrection on January 6th. So that's the initial question.
he was photographed breaching one of the restricted areas. Is that okay?
Which area? Because I saw video where Capitol officers were taking away barriers and unlocking
Opening doors.
People. So, I mean, they opened.
Now again, that is true. That is true. That is a fact. I will say this. Cops. Now again, whether or not they should have done that or they were trying to like, you know, bring the line back or whatever. But there is video of cops removing barricades and opening doors. There was one article of an off-duty officer swiping their badge to open a door that they shouldn't have. Right. That is a fact. That this is where their understanding of reality ends.
So it shouldn't be disqualifying for an elected official if they participated in January 6th?
He didn't strike anybody. He didn't hurt anybody.
So again, the idea that just because a cop is afraid of getting killed and they're like running away, that means you can go into the Capitol, that's ludicrous. That's ludicrous. Every single person at the insurrection knew what they were doing was illegal and immoral. They knew that. They knew that. They knew that. You're not like, again, there is no way that you enter the Capitol without seeing blood in the air, without seeing and hearing screaming, without hearing bones breaking and glass shattering. There is no possible, unless they've got like noise canceling headphones in and they've got like those weird sunglasses that like darken everything out so you can barely see shit. There is no possible way that I will accept anyone entering the Capitol on January 6, 2021 to be anything other than a criminal. I mean, there is no way you can get in there without hearing and seeing all of this shit. It's impossible. It's impossible. Okay, they knew what they did was wrong, and these people are fucking dumb ass motherfucking fuckers. Okay, check this out.
And the only one that died was a protester there, not a Capitol Police officer.
So, multiple Capitol Police officers died as a result of injuries from January 6th and as a result of trauma from January 6th. That is true. That is a fact. Now, again, I hate cops. Fuck them. Right? Fuck them. Oh, I'm so sad. I was at January 6th and I'm depressed. I'm gonna kill myself. I say, hey, that's a good move from that cop. Okay, I don't give a fuck. Okay, that being said, it is factual that hundreds of cops got their fucking faces beaten. Hundreds of cops got their fucking bones broken. That is factual. That is factual. And this is the pro-cop crowd. These are the motherfuckers that are like, the black people are running through the streets. We need more cops. And now they're minimizing the damage to cops. Like, I don't know, man. Right? Dumbass motherfuckers. Right? And also, like, 5 protesters died, not just one. But keep going on.
Female veteran.
That's the only one that died.
And then this fucking guy, I want you to listen to this. I want you to listen to this. So this fucking stupid ass fucking whore bitch is like, only one protester got killed. And I think it's like this guy, I don't know, it's one of the guys who is like, and she was a vet, and she was vet, and a
there, not a Capitol Police
unarmed
officer.
Female veteran.
That's the only one that died.
Yeah, one of the other guys, unarmed female veteran, like, the bitch was climbing through a window. Like, you ever see Ring or The Ring? Right? You know when Sadako's climbing through the television all fucked up like? That was Ashley Babbitt climbing through that window like a fucking goddamn supernatural fucking villain. She was screaming. She was fucking yelling. And she was saying that she's gonna fucking get these motherfuckers. Yeah. She got fucking capped. Good. One less dumbass, okay?
Died.
That's the only one who died.
A police officer did die.
No, it was a stroke.
That's not
on site.
Caused by that. That's because
Right.
he shouldn't have been a police officer.
He shouldn't have been a police officer. Again, you get attacked on January 6th, go to the hospital, and die as a result of the injuries you sustained on the attack. Shouldn't have been a police officer. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to use that one next time a cop gets killed. Next time I do a story about officer down, like, you know, some guy like shoots a cop and runs away. Hey, shouldn't have been a cop. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm in. Yeah, fuck you. Cop dies, shouldn't have been a cop. I agree with that. I agree with that. Okay. Now, again, obviously these people are just spewing it is like again, it's an avalanche, you know, it's an avalanche of you know, like when the fucking goddamn ice sheet in the fucking, you know, Arctic is, you know, when it fucking falls out, you know, those videos that you see, and like the giant fucking glaciers like collapse or whatever, and then you just see all the fucking snow and ice just like, right? You know, that's what this is, of cringe, right? But again, yeah, fuck that cop. Fuck him. Fuck him.
So what do you make, though, overall of January 6th? I mean, watching that footage, it was pretty disturbing. I mean, there were people throwing excrement at the walls, and it was it's the Capitol.
It looked a lot like Antifa's actions to me.
Yes. Antifa, known for shitting on desks, then picking up the shit and smearing it on the walls. You ever see those videos of Antifa just running around and shitting everywhere? Look at that, like Antifa. Look at that, like Antifa made the goddamn pooping on the goddamn. Look like the goddamn liberals.
Except on a much smaller scale, it looked the same as the Black Lives Matter riots.
That's what I...
Fucking... It's on a smaller scale. On a smaller scale. And again, I need you to understand, this is the majority of the Republican Party. This is like 60 or 70% of the Republican Party has said that January 6th is no big deal. Now, again, and there's a cross-section over there that say it's kind of bad, but it's not an insurrection, or it's not blah, 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 right? Like, it's bad or whatever, but it's not that bad is one of the cross-sections there. But again, holy fuck. Holy fuck. These are voters. They vote. These people vote. And they have families, right? And they talk to their families about this stuff and influence how their families vote.
I saw the similarities to be.
Minneapolis burns. Kenosha burns.
Did this motherfucker say Indianapolis?
Matter rights.
That's what I saw the similarities to be.
Minneapolis burns.
Yeah, this guy said Indianapolis. What the fuck? And it's like, it burned? What does that mean?
Burns. Kenosha burns.
But so it's okay.
Like, are you that motherfucker from that episode of Seinfeld where the bitch is looking for a bank and he, like, creepily walks out of the alley and it's like, it's gone! It burned! Like, what does that mean, it burned? Like, it burned? What does that mean? Is there, like, a giant fucking crater where Indianapolis was? What do you mean it burned? Like, I don't know, one time the stove caught fire. Does that mean the whole town I live in burned? What the fuck? Like, I don't know, like, one time the fucking, like, you know, what if a firefighter goes to, is the whole town, it burned? Like, that's the thing, we don't live in a world where the English language exists. Saying Indianapolis, and by the way, what the fuck, Indianapolis, whatever. Like, Indianapolis burning, it doesn't mean, there's no information that you get, right? There's no information gained when you say, Kenosha burned. It burned? It burned? What does that mean? It burned. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. No information is gained or conveyed by saying it burned, okay?
Just because one side that you disagree with,
I'm saying Antifa infiltrated.
Good for one.
Antifa infiltrated. So the one like smearing shit on the walls who got arrested, by the way, is secretly Antifa.
Good for the other.
Anybody who harmed anybody who caused property destruction, that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah,
but if you're there making your voice heard at the people's house, no less.
House. These motherfuckers love using this fucking fancy ass, fucking stupid ass language. The people's house. Oh, it's the people's house. Oh, the people's house. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's again, it's a fundamental constitutional right of an American citizen, and people should not be being held political prisoner.
It's a fundamental right to break into the Capitol and wander around and scream, like, hang Mike Pence. That's a fundamental right. It's a fundamental right to protest, yes. Outside the Capitol. That's a fundamental right. I agree. 100%. But as soon as you walk in... Now, again, no one entered the Capitol without hearing the glass shattering, without hearing the screaming, without hearing cops getting their fucking bones broken, without hearing, like, fucking the gunshots from when Ashley Babbitt... No one entered the Capitol without hearing all of this and seeing it. This idea that, like, the door was open, no one was there, and someone wandered in and got tackled by the cops and arrested, that's fantasy. It doesn't... Political prisoner? You know who the fuck a political prisoner is? Someone who gets arrested on a drug charge. That's a fucking political prisoner. The war on drugs was only started because Richard Nixon's administration wanted to find a way to remove the right to vote from black people. Now, again, this is 5 years after the Civil Rights Act. This is, again, official White House memos that were passed forth and publicly available. The Richard Nixon administration wanted to find a way to remove black people's right to vote. So what did they do? They criminalized certain drugs that black people were more likely to be involved in, and then they flooded black communities with those drugs so that they could find them and then arrest them. Those are political prisoners. Someone breaking into the fucking Capitol and smearing shit on the wall, that's not a political fucking prisoner, my friend. I don't know what to tell you. Like, what the fuck?
Because of it.
By the way, we're only... Like, I want you to look at this. Like, again, this is pure. This is the good stuff. This is the good stuff when it comes to the cringe. We're only 90 seconds in, and I'm still fucking... Oh.
Misdemeanors. That's East Germany.
That's East Germany.
Tactics.
Yeah, that's what's scary.
Now, again, this guy just says whatever the other person says. Someone said, that's East Germany. Can you ask them, like, what East Germany... When you say that's East Germany, what does that mean? And then this kid... who doesn't even know what East Germany is. Like, this guy was not even alive when East Germany was a thing. This guy's gonna like, yeah, it's East Germany. Yeah, man, yeah, yeah, man. Woo!
It was an actual fiery but mostly peaceful protest. And the other ones
peaceful, yeah. Now, you can make an argument that the people screaming outside that didn't go in the Capitol were mostly peaceful, but we're talking about the Republican candidate for governor going inside. That's the first question. The Republican governor candidate goes inside the Capitol. That is not a peaceful protest. I'm sorry. So even if, let's grant you, most people didn't go in the Capitol. Okay, that has nothing to do with Doug Mastriano going into the Capitol. Like, I don't know what the fuck. What?
that were the
Was the protest legitimate in your eyes?
Administration,
because
I feel like, is using it as their Reichstag fire.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're using it as.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats are using it as the Reichstag fire. That's what the Democrats are doing. Somebody, please.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Somebody, please give this motherfucker a history book. Like, for the love of God.
do you think that President Trump could have quelled the violence that day?
Not him personally.
I don't think so, no.
I don't think so.
It started while he was still speaking. I was actually there. I was there to see what I thought was going to be.
I love this. I love it. I love when one of the dumb motherfuckers on the panel is like, yeah, I was actually there. I was at January 6th. Yeah, I was actually there. Of course you are, you stupid fucking bitch. You dumbass whore. This is a great freeze frame, by the way. Oh, the man, I'm so goddamn stupid. Like what a fucking fucking stupid. Fuck. I mean, fuck.
Be the last time I ever saw Trump, little did I know.
So did he tell everybody to go and start rioting?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, and it actually... I stayed for the whole speech, like a ton of people did.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all headed to the Capitol because he said, let's go to the Capitol and peacefully let our voices be heard.
This one right here, this one. Like, I just looking at her, how she behaves, right? I have seen this before, okay? I've seen this before. This bitch, right, like, she wakes up, right? And she fucking makes herself a goddamn like fucking martini, right? She's like sipping on wine coolers the whole day. She's probably drunk right now, right? She's like on Facebook group chats, like texting about how like the fucking gay niece or gay fucking nephew or whatever is like, you know, queer and how they want to like, you know, fix them or something. Like, that's this bitch. She spends all her day sitting by the pool, you know, drinking fucking goddamn wine, or wine coolers, which is more probably apt in this sense, you know, and just gossiping all day about like the queer nephew. Like, I'm just saying, I have seen this archetype in like my family before. The one who like has to get a snippet in every time anyone else is like you ever go to like a family reunion, you know, and then like, you know, you're ever at a family or like, you know, whatever's going on, all the people in your family that you barely ever see and you don't even like are in one room for some fucking reason. Maybe it's a funeral, maybe it's a birthday party, maybe whatever, who knows what it is. And then like, you know, everyone's having their own conversation and someone just walks around like the fucking drunk bitch, you know, just walks around and butts into people's conversations. Like, how about shut the fuck up? How about no one's talking to you? How about go fuck yourself? That's what I always want to say. But now I can't, right? But now I can because this... I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm personalizing that one a little bit. But.
Let's go to the Capitol and peacefully let our voices be heard. And we get to the Capitol and we're like, what the hell's going on? Because it had already happened.
I'm pretty sure I saw Democratic operatives.
It had already happened. Now, before we get into this one, because this next one's a nugget, but it had already happened. Okay, think again. Words. We don't live in a world or a country where there is one single language that we all understand and communicate effectively with. Okay, I need you to understand. There is no English. There is no language. There is no communication. All of that has broken down. Okay, it had already happened. So she is saying, what is it? The January 6th insurrection? Right? It had. What is had? Past tense. Already, as in it's occurring, or it had already means it had occurred in the past. It means it's over. It had already happened. Happened. Past tense. The January 6th insurrection like ended, like, you know, like they got them all out of the Capitol like at what, 5 or 6 p.m.? What? Like, again, there is no English. There is no language. We can't communicate. We can't. We can't. It's over. It's done. How do you deal with this? How can we live in a country with this? We can't. We can't. We can't. I need you to understand, we can't. We cannot share a country with this. We can't. We won't. What do you do? What do you do? Our society, as it is right now, is not designed to deal with this. There is no language. There is no communication. There is no facts. This bitch is saying that the insurrection ended at like 11 a.m. What? That's just not true.
Peacefully let our voices be heard. And we get to the...
And now for the golden nugget. Check it out. Brace for impact. Put your seatbelt on. Get ready.
Capitol, we're like, what the hell's going on? Because it had already happened.
I'm pretty sure I saw Democratic operatives instigating people to cross.
So, okay, so this guy is just like, yeah, I was at January 6th too, man. And, like, I'm pretty sure I saw Democratic operatives, man. Let's game this out. Okay, you saw Democratic operatives? Oh, really? How did you know that they were Democratic operatives? Did they have their, like, fucking Kirsten Gillibrand 2024 hat on? Or 2020 hat on? Democratic operatives? What? Like, did you see Nancy Pelosi go, like, in a fucking trench coat, like, walk through the... You saw Democratic operatives. What? What? You saw them with your own eyes? Please, tell me more. Like, or... Were you at January 6th, and so you feel like you have, like, some authority on the issue, and you heard someone at some point say, Democratic operatives, and then you say you want to take advantage of the fact that you were there, and you want to say you saw them even though you didn't?
You were there that day.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I mean, why would he tell
You were there that day. What do you think? No.
people to do that? Why did the people who did that not wait around for him to tell them to do that? He said that around the end of his speech, if I remember correctly. It happened before he even said.
Why didn't the people who broke into the Capitol wait for Donald Trump to tell them to break into the Capitol? What?
Said that, I believe.
Again, I want you to understand this. Thank you, by the way, West Crosby, for the membership. I appreciate it. But I want you to understand this. The Republican Party is doomed. Like, I need you... These people, they are not drowning. They are not like, you know, when you think of someone drowning, imagine the lake is cringe, right? The lake is just the manifestation of cringe, okay? And when you think of someone drowning, they're like splashing, like head, right? They're trying to breathe, right? That's not what's happening. This is like Jason Voorhees tier. Like, they have already drowned. They have decomposed. All of their skin has rotted off. And then now they're a zombie, and they've come back out for revenge. That's what this fucking shit is.
I mean,
I think the timeline, didn't he speak? Because he was back at the White House, and then he tweeted. So he
yeah, but
tweeted.
after
People were still there.
and stuff, yeah. But it started while he was still speaking. And they talk about the fact that, oh, he didn't do anything for this amount of time. It's like, well, he was giving his speech and
why did Nancy Pelosi deny his request?
Actually, we have
several thousand National Guard troops.
Yeah. Well, it actually isn't.
Like, that's the thing is, like, when someone is struggling, like, I need you to understand the way that this is like the hive mind functions here. When one of them is struggling to answer, one of the other ones just like pops in with another conspiracy to move the subject and then start talking, because this is like Joe Biden tier, like the kleptok with right, like, and I'm not trying to make fun of, you know, Joe Biden's stutter. I'm just saying, like, they're not getting the point across. Someone else is rescuing them by, one, starting to talk, and then two, changing the subject so that the interviewer can't have time to like debunk whatever conspiracy theory this bitch is fucking talking about, right? So I want you to understand that, right? It's like it's I don't
anything for this amount of time. It's like, well, he was giving his speech and
why did Nancy Pelosi deny his request?
Actually, we have
several thousand National Guard troops.
Yeah. Well, it actually isn't.
And then the stupid fucking wine cooler Xanax bitch is like, yep, National Guard. Yep. That's what they do. I love it. You ever sit back and watch like conversations happen in a group, but you're not actually involved in the conversation, or sitting back and watching the conversation? You ever know how many times people go like, yep, yep, yep. You see it on like podcasts all the time. If you watch, yep, First of all, I just want to say that's unnecessary. I don't need you to say yep, right? I know that's like, maybe because I'm autistic, I just don't understand why that's necessary, right? But like you don't need to do that. Like, someone is talking, right? You don't need, yep, yep, National Guard, yep, 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 restaurant, yep, East Germany, yep, yep. What? But why they do that is it's like they're gassing up the person who's talking. Right? They're like, yeah. Like, it's like, you know, if you're given a performance of, like, let's say you're in a band and you're giving a performance and someone's going like, woo, right in the crowd, right? It gasses you up. That's why they do this, right? They're just backing each other up. Yeah, East Germany. Yeah. National Guard. Yep. Nancy Pelosi.
Pelosi's power to deploy National Guard. Well, she's Speaker of the House. She has no authority over that whatsoever. And frankly, I think that's a good thing.
But even so, isn't she?
Oh, so what I said was wrong? Well, anyway, let's have another conspiracy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell?
In charge of security.
If there was that great of a risk that she was offered them, then why didn't she preemptively beef up Capitol Police?
Right.
So why didn't Nancy Pelosi preemptively build up Capitol Police? This implies that Nancy Pelosi was like orchestrating it. Is this an inside job? Is that what he's trying to say? Or like, Nancy Pelosi knew that Donald Trump's people would try to overthrow the country? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and also, we have video now of Nancy Pelosi getting the governors of Maryland and Virginia to get the state guard or whatever it is, you know, their branches of whatever, to go to D.C. So she was actively trying to bring in, right, troops from Virginia and Maryland. And guess what? Donald Trump's own Defense Department is what delayed the National Guard.
She does have the authority to do.
Capitol Police are there.
But apparently they were taken off guard.
Yeah.
Now that, again, they shouldn't have been. Some stupid ass bitch doing a fucking dumb podcast that 10 people watch, knew that something fucking bad was happening on January 6th because I pay attention to the news. So yes, they should have known better. The cops should have known better. The FBI should have known better. You're like, they should have. That's true. But also, them having should have known more about right-wing violence does not excuse the right-wing violence. Them knowing or not knowing how bad right-wingers are and how crazy they are does not, the right-wingers are okay. Like, they can go in and smear shit on the walls and, like, fucking kill people, and that's fine. Because the Democrats should have known that they would have done that? Like, what? You know what I mean? What?
Who thought, let's just do a show of hands, who thought that the 2020 presidential election was...
Okay, this is going to be... Okay, you ready for this? Show of hands. Show of hands. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Okay.
Who thought, let's just do a show of hands, who thought that the 2020 presidential election was legitimate and free and fair? That
We have
Biden's
never
election
shut
was
down
legitimate?
elections in Pennsylvania.
So, okay, the wine cooler bitch just refuses to shut the fuck up. But I want you to, there's like an initial pan, right? Like right here. Right? Show of hands. And they're all like, check this out.
Who thought, let's just do a show of hands, who thought that the 2020 presidential election was legitimate and free and fair? That
We have
Biden's
never
election
shut
was
down
legitimate?
elections in Pennsylvania in the middle of the night and then did something different.
Now, this bitch, right, like, she's like, what? Like, look at her face. She does, like, a minor micro facial movement, right? And I want you to just study that shit, because it is hilarious. Check this out.
In the middle of the night and then did something.
She's like...
something different hours later.
And
That has never happened
later.
before.
What did they do differently?
Votes changed
And
in the shutdown.
the counting
So
stopped.
how did the fraud happen?
I don't know. But why did they shut it all down?
Was it mail-in votes?
That's the
They
harvest.
mail in
I think
votes.
that's the
That was a
most,
big part of it.
most likely
Now,
place to problem.
Notice this fucking bastard, right? He sneaks in a fucking nugget here, and I don't want to go over it. Check this out.
And
In the shutdown.
the counting
So
stopped.
how did the fraud happen?
I don't know. But why did they shut it all down?
Was it mail-in votes?
That's the
They
harvest.
mail in
I think
votes.
that's the most likely place.
Now again, Republicans were more likely to do mail-in voting before Donald Trump. Factor that into this. Also, ballot harvesting, not really a fuck. Like what? Like I don't like what? Right? Like they just say buzzwords. Like that they heard from cable news, or probably not cable news. They probably get their shit from like Alex Jones or whatever. But like again, like how do you debunk 28 conspiracy theories that are thrown at you like this motherfucker? Like no wonder these people love AR-15 so much. They take that in a fucking debate philosophy. Like let's just gun down the fucking opponents with like 39 trillion different conspiracies. Like they shut down the election in the middle of the night. So the polls close at 8 o'clock. 4 hours later, they shut down the election? What? What? Like, like what? What?
The problems could happen, and in the last election, they counted those last. And miraculously, the results
Exactly.
completely inverted.
So miraculously, when you count the votes are counted Like what? What? What is the miracle? What is? Oh, they counted the mail-in ballots over the next like week, and then tallied up the votes, and someone won. It's a miracle. What? What? And then look at this guy. Look at this guy. This guy's like, whoa, buddy. I don't even know what he's doing, right?
Republican primary, if we held it tomorrow.
All right, this one's good. This one's good. Check this out.
In Pennsylvania, who would you vote for?
Senate?
Who would you be most excited? Republican presidential primary. Say tomorrow you had to go vote in a Republican presidential primary in Pennsylvania. Who would you vote for?
Trump.
Yeah, Trump.
I'd like to see one of Trump's kids run.
DeSantis.
I would vote for DeSantis.
If DeSantis was a candidate, yes, I would vote for him.
Would you vote for
Vice President
DeSantis over Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Yes.
Interesting. Who would vote for DeSantis over Trump at this point?
I think I would.
So that's 1, 2, 3, and then she had her hand up. 4 out of how many are there? 10? 4, 8, 10. Okay, so 4 out of 10. Okay.
DeSantis is Trump with brown hair.
Younger version.
Okay. I love putting the magnifying glass up to like how people communicate. So like this guy's got something funny to say. Let's listen.
Trump at this point.
I think I would.
This guy?
So
DeSantis is Trump with brown hair.
So first of all, that's funny, right? Because they're pretty much just admitting that like all Republicans are the same and they're all just like drones and they're interchangeable, which is funny. But then like he nails it. Everyone's like, oh! And then I want you to really pay attention to this guy, how he reacts to the crowd. Check this out.
Younger version.
I think.
Okay, listen. I know it's very. I know. Bear with me. Okay, like he's like, like he's like, oh, he's on top of the world. He nailed it. The whole class is fucking clapping. He's the class clown. He's happy. Listen to.
So.
DeSantis is Trump with brown hair.
Younger version.
I think DeSantis has a bit more of a filter.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Which is, I think, a
Brown
good
hair,
thing.
no social media.
He comes across as a tough,
And then this
nice
guy. Now the reason why I did the micro analysis. This guy's like, he's looking around. He's on top of the world. Then someone else chimes in with a reason, but then he's trying to double up. He's like, yeah, remember brown hair, right? He's trying to go again. He's trying to get leftovers. He's trying to get the seconds, and it's not going as well.
I think DeSantis has a bit more of a filter.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Which is, I think, a
Brown
good
hair,
thing.
no social media.
He comes across as a tough, nice guy.
No one laughs. Oof. No one took that one. They didn't like it. They only laughed like to be nice the first time, but then this guy like keeps talking, and they're like.
And he's young too, so I don't know if he's not in the next.
I think his time's coming. I just don't think it's right now.
I just think the Democratic hatred isn't there for DeSantis. It's just pre-existing for Trump. It's just,
Yeah.
It will be if he's the nominee.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe, but they'd have to ramp it up, and they don't have that much time to do that.
Well, she's a great example. They turned you towards him.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know how much that you represent the people out there.
So you were a Clinton, Trump, voter.
Yeah, and
ended up being so passionate you went on January 6th.
Well, because everything had changed, like when Clinton didn't win, I woke up in the morning and I was fine, but it was like the rest of the world was acting like it was 9/11 for real, and everybody has been completely obsessed with hatred for Trump, and if you can't walk down the street wearing a certain kind of hat because everyone will say you're asking for whatever happens to you.
Yeah.
And how is that American?
So she voted for Trump, not on policy. Policy is never, I love Trump's, economic outlook. No. She voted for Trump literally because, like, the SJWs were triggered and said orange man bad, and then she's like, whoa, I guess I'll vote for Trump now. It's not, oh, he was building the wall, or I love when he assassinated that Iranian general, or North Korea, or, taxing me and giving my money to the rich. No. She doesn't like any of that. She's just like, well, the liberals were triggered, so yeah, I went and vote for Trump. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I spent way longer on this than I thought I would, but like, also, I mean, can you blame me? Like, again, this is the good shit. This is top shelf, right? This is the good fucking shit. This is that shit that was aged. Like, they found like a pirate ship. You ever hear about this? They found like some like whiskey that was like in a barrel in a pirate ship that sunk like 400 years ago, or like, whatever it is, right? You ever see that fucking shit? And it's usually, it's contaminated or whatever, but like, that's what this is. Like, that's the equivalent here. Like, this is some like, fuck, like, god damn, this is the good stuff. Okay, so anyway, but again, in conclusion, I think I've already said this, but it's over. America's over. This accurately represents about 1/4 of Americans. Think about it. About 1/4 are Republicans, right? And about 60 to 70% of Republicans are either this stupid or like maybe 1 IQ point higher, right? But then the other percentage, they just go along with it and they don't care, right? So again, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do with these people? And again, I say that language, how I construct this sentence, is very purposeful. What do we do with these people? What do we do with these people? We cannot live with them. We cannot coexist with them. What do we do with these people? Can someone answer this question? Does anyone know the answer? Because I don't. Anyway, there you go. Fuck. This is a long stream. I got a horror movie review that I'm going to be jumping into. Oh! Alright, first of all, I'm going to do this again. Subscribe to my new Doom channel. I am 9% of the way to getting monetization. 9%. So, if you want to help me out, do that. I will be streaming tonight on twitch.tv. So follow me there. I'm going to be playing a game that came out last year. So a lot of people go, why are you playing new game? Why are you playing new game? Why are you only playing old game? Why are you playing, right? People love to say that. Game came out last year. Never played it. I've avoided spoilers all the way up until now. So I'm going to be starting that tonight. So tune in. It's going to be fun. And I'm going to be chillaxing. And then after chillaxing, I'm going to be maxing. Like this dog, wherever he is. I hear him snoring, but I don't know where he is. But anyway, I'm going to jump into a horror film review. God damn, I'm all fucked up today. Holy shit. All right, y'all. Here we are. The Spook-sixular. Yesterday I watched Shocker. No More Mr. Nice Guy. This is by Wes Craven. Of course, the originator of Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream, but, this is before Scream. Shocker. I'm going to be honest with you. Never heard of it. This one I completely missed. I completely missed this movie. It was released in, I believe, 1989, according to the internet that I looked at. And, damn. I'm going to be honest. The concept of this movie, sounds good. It sounded good. Like, the only thing I knew about it is I looked at the poster, on the streaming service that I was using. And I saw, like, something that looked like this. And then, like, the description was, like, a serial killer, like, after execution, a serial killer becomes electricity, and I'm thinking to myself, whoa, what the fuck does that mean? I'm going to watch this movie. I'm going to be honest with you. This movie, right, It's fucking good. So, like, the opening to this movie is you immediately see the slashing. Like, there is no build-up here. The only build-up is that, like, you know the movie is called Shocker, and so you know something crazy is gonna fucking happen, right? That's the only build-up. You don't know what the fucking crazy is. So anyway, so some motherfucker, a repairman's going around murdering people in their sleep. He's killing like 30 people in like the opening, right? You only see a little bit of it. You see like, you know, a couple scenes, right? And then like a high schooler like sees him in his dreams. So it's very similar to like a Nightmare on Elm Street. It's got that like weird dream stuff going on. And it turns out the reason why the high school kid can see this guy in his dreams is because they were related. And he's a foster kid. The high school kid's a foster kid. And this is his biological father, who's a serial killer. So he can see him in his dreams. Really cringy. Not cringy, but crazy. Really crazy stuff. And so anyway, so he identifies him. He tells his foster dad, who's a cop, all about that. And it is... You know, then they find him, you know, they chase him. There's like a big chase. They go to his like place of business. They find a bunch of fucked up. That scene where they're walking through like his warehouse, like where his business is, and there's like 98 televisions and they're all on and they all have like different kinds of static on them. I love that scene. Like the small thin hallway with the big shelves of all small CRTs. That was great. That was excellent. And so then he evades the cops. Right, and you know, the first like opening part of the movie, like the first third is like the chase. You know, the cops are chasing him. They get him, right? They get him, and of course, the shocker, the serial killer kills the foster kid's family, everyone except for the father. The father's at work. He is at his girlfriend's house, and the rest of the family gets killed. And including kids, like 2 kids get killed. One like, you know, 8-year-old or something, and one like 15 or 16-year-old. So, you know, that's pretty crazy. You know, we're killing kids in this goddamn movie. So anyway, so then he gets executed, right? The chase is awesome, right? There's that part where like the high school kid's jumping across the roof, you know, on the building and trying to chase him down. That whole thing, that's awesome, everything. But then he goes in the electric chair. He's making a deal with the devil in the jail cell. And the cops are like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And then, like, some shit comes out of the television and, like, possesses him or some shit, right? Then he gets the electric chair. And then he becomes electricity. He becomes electricity. And I'm thinking to myself, what? What does that mean? So, essentially, what he can do is, well, you know how all humans have, like, electrical currents inside of them, right? Inside of us. We're humans. I'm a human. So are you. So basically what he does is, because he is electricity, whatever that means, he can jump from body to body and like take over their nervous system or some shit. You know, whatever. It's a slasher movie. It doesn't need to make sense, right? It's a slasher movie, but with a supernatural killer. It doesn't need to make fucking sense, okay? It's a goddamn movie. So he's hopping from body to body, right? He hops from like, you know, the nurse at the prison, you know, where the execution is, to like another cop. You know, there's like a scene where he fucks up a cop and they drive into like an oil tanker, and then like, you know, and all that. And he's hopping from body to body to try to kill the foster kid who got him arrested in the first place. And then like, I mean, this movie is great. I don't really know how to review it. It's just, it's so entertaining. And so anyway, so by the way, he kills the foster kid's girlfriend as well at some point, and then she comes back in his dreams, but also like she can affect him too, like the shocker guy. So I don't even know what, it's very inconsistent supernatural rules, but I like it. It works. So she comes back and gives him a necklace, and he takes the necklace out of the dream, just like in A Nightmare on Elm Street. But the necklace is like so. For more context, he gave her the necklace before she died, and then in a dream, she gives it back to him. And then that's the shocker's weakness, I guess. And so, but then the guy, the shocker, takes the necklace and throws it in the middle of a lake at one scene. And then the rest of the movie, the foster kid is trying to, you know, I don't necessarily want to keep referring to him as a foster kid, but honestly, I forget his name. And I don't want to, you know, I'm sorry about that. I forget the character name, and I don't know the actor, so I apologize. But he is the protagonist. And I just got to say, his acting, whoever the actor is, I didn't know. But the acting was really good. I thought he played the role really well. I mean, especially for like a cheesy slasher movie, I thought he did a good job. So anyway, so the rest of the movie is him trying to go back to the lake and get the necklace while the shocker's going around killing people. And then you got the final part of the movie. Yo, if you haven't seen this movie, I need you to stop listening to what I'm saying right? If you haven't seen the movie and you're just, stop listening to what I'm saying. Turn it off. Go find this movie. The ending is amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Wow. I mean, I did a review of Ring this month for the Spook Sexular. Go watch it. I did Ring, Ring 2, and Ring 0. And, well, needless to say, The Ring copied Shocker. So he is electricity, and what that means is he climbs into a television and pulls the protagonist in with him. And then they're fighting in the television. Okay? They're fighting in the television, and the channels keep changing. And the footage is like, there's World War II documentaries, and they're like fighting in front of like the nuclear bombs in Hiroshima. And then then they're in like a riot, and they're fighting in the riot. Then they're fighting in a sitcom. And then they come out of random living room televisions, go back in the they go in and out of the TV just like in fucking Ring. Like, I'm thinking, where the fuck is Sadako? Like, is she gonna fucking show up? But like, and it's funny. It's funny. And it's hilarious, and there's like, and the channels keep changing. There's like fucking 20 different scenes, right? They show up and Leave It to Beaver, and it's just like, oh my god, it's so funny. And it works, It's funny, but it works. Like, it doesn't ruin the movie in any way, because the movie's already cheesy, and then it's just hilarious, and I love it. The ending is so good. It's so good. But then they're fighting in the TV universe. But then they come out of the TV universe, but they're still in the TV universe. So there's like, it's like Inception. Like, there's multiple layers within the TV universe. And it's like, what the fuck? And then he like uses the necklace to kill. Oh. Watch this movie. Shocker. Wes Craven. If you like A Nightmare on Elm Street, you will love Shocker. I don't know what else to say. If you like any kind of slasher movie, you will love this movie. If you like cheesy movies, you will love this movie. It is, not only is it a movie, but it's a movie film. It is a filmographic movie. And I loved it. I had so much fun. I was laughing, but also the slasher scenes were gory, and they were fucking brutal. Like, the personality of the slasher in this movie, you can kind of see it. It's kind of like Freddy Krueger, but like, you know, the wisecracking, and he curses a lot. And the thing is that's funny is that when he goes from body to body, right, the actors that play the different bodies, then they have to try to match his personality style, and and it's like, you know, like, fuck you, motherfucker. And it's like, I love swearing, and the slasher in this movie swears so much, and I love it. It is great. And Shocker, go watch it right now. And that's my review of Shocker. Anyway, that's my show. Is this a good one? Is this a good show? Anyone? It's a good show. Anyone? No? Okay. Well. Anyway, be live on Twitch later. I'll see y'all. I'm hungry. I'm not gonna lie. I'm hungry. So, that's it. Goodbye. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll be back tomorrow.
Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick, because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
Here's the polls, Jack. You guys are all the same.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.